zones. Once again, poor waterfall area just kind of like slipping away in my memory. It's so funny to see the characters that we've been...
I was just gonna say, I think it's kind of supposed to exist as a transitional area, but I don't really know. It's definitely less bombastic than the other two for some reason.
It's fun to see a lot of the characters. Yeah.
Sorry. I was gonna say it's kind of funny actually now that it comes across as less memorable because of the really active section where Undyne's tossing spears at you.
That's true. I guess perhaps because then I think of the area less as an area and more as a boss zone. Or maybe that's part of it is, you know, spending so much time thinking about, oh, I need to escape Undyne, that I'm not really, you know, absorbing the area. It's good to go back. I commented at the time, but it reminds me a lot of the world of Knit Underground.
What about it? Oh, the waterfall specifically, you mean?
Yeah, that zone's aesthetic. It's kind of funny also to draw comparisons since there's also a lot of talk about the surface and humans and stuff in that game.
You know, that is true. Yes.
Did that mouse finally come out and try to eat some of the delicious spaghetti?
It's also fun to see the characters that we've been fighting now as overworld characters. Kind of assumed we'd figure out that the ruins was actually the endgame area since they seemed weirdly mirrored. But I guess they are different locations. Tariel just like constructed a replica of her old house, I guess.
You know, it's sort of like that, I think. Yeah.
What the hell?
I like how the game is kind of very, I want to call it earnest and I guess you'd say pushing a message of, you know, love and friendship and everything, but still kind of retains that macabre edge to it.
Yeah, on the flip side, I like how they gave some levity to what was one of the darker parts of the game.
Well, what I like it is it's not like a lighthearted out of almost a sense of obligation, but lighthearted as a deliberate choice, if that makes sense. Or lighthearted because that's part of the theme that the creator wants to communicate, rather than, oh, we can't have this too dark, or, you know, that'd be bad. I don't know. I'm not articulating it.
Kids will get enough money.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's sort of the flip side of, you know, things that get dark and edgy just for the sake of it.
Right.
Jeez, I forgot how long this area was.
Actually, I'm reminded of Knit Underground now that you've mentioned that, and also mentioned being dark and edgy for the sake of it. I feel like there's something about Nicholas's not quite native English seeping through into the script of the game, because some of the swear words are very awkwardly played.
Yes.
I guess that's one side to not wanting to swear too much in a game is that this is quite forced.
Yeah. That game, I ended up enjoying the script in the end, even though I feel like on a granular level the script is not good due to reasons like that, but the overall story he tried to communicate, a lot of people are very angry at the ending. I appreciated it.
Can you please remind me what it is? Because
Okay.
I played the game through.
So, well, that's it. It makes sense that you don't remember what it was, because the ending is, remember, the main character has to ring like the 7 bells of fate or something to stop
Right.
the world from ending, and
She rings the bells. It's in question whether they're actually going to do anything.
when she rings all the bells, you just kind of cut to like a dark screen, and then Niflis's self-insert character kind of comes in, and he says, and so then she rang the 7th bell, and the day was saved, and everything was good. And the pissed off fairy character kind of pops up to say, like, that's it, that's the end. And he says, yeah, basically. And he says something to the effect of, the fairy character complains that there's not like a big montage or any sort of fancy, cutscene. And he says something like, yes, but I'm trying to remember exactly how he puts it, but doing it this way was something very important to me, or ending it this way says something very important to me. I'll have to look it up later. And then the game ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does sound about right.
I mean, that's better than ending your game with like a 6-year-long poem.
Are we referring to something in particular here?
Yeah, I'm throwing some shade. That's how Minecraft ends.
Minecraft has an ending?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Do they actually keep that in after it became like a Microsoft thing? Because it was like this weird bullshit I remember like halfway back when it wasn't even 1.0, right?
Yeah, it's something like that. It was... Oh, Notch got us again! Oh, oh boy! People were like, please put an ending or a story in your game, and he went, oh, I'll give you all the story.
What I appreciate
More
about...
story than you can handle. Sorry.
That's okay.
For Knit Underground, that is a game that was obviously more about the story than the destination.
Mm-hmm.
More about the journey, sorry, than the
Yeah.
destination. Which I think...
And that seemed like something that was
more or
reinforced multiple times throughout the game, in my opinion.
Reinforced, not even just through the game itself, but through all of Niflis's games, I'd go as far as to argue. Affordable Space Adventures has a very somber ending, and really the joy of that game is not about the ending, it is about the adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Same goes for Within the Deep Forest. Knit Stories is the ending to his included campaigns is something along the lines of and there was so much more. So yeah, I know for him, I mean I think this probably is Niflis as a guy that loves creating exploratory platformers, because I don't like using the word Metroidvania for his games necessarily. Because some of them actually aren't Metroidvanias at all. Knit Underground has no power-ups, has no gating of that
They're
sort.
Dark Souls-like roguelikes, of course.
Roguevania Dark Bloodborne?
Souls.
Souls? Yeah, Souls.
And Knuckles.
So, the ruins, what are they ruins of? Because at the end game, I kind of assumed that somehow I looped back around to this place, but it seems clear that I did not.
So, I can't actually remember if this is supposed to be the old town or the new town.
This is the old town.
Okay, that's what
That's why it's ruins of the old town before they moved to new town.
Why did they
Or
move?
its home before they moved to new home.
Right.
I feel bad. I was paying attention, yet I don't remember why they moved.
It's in one of the books, but I forget what it says.
Oh yeah, Nifl's journey, not destination. I found that to be a very good message in that I could see how it was challenging to some people, and it was kind of sad to read on the internet people were really pissed off for the reasons he predicted through his fairy character.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, you can't, you can say that you can lampshade a thing all you want, and it's not going to make it more good. On the other hand, I don't think that Knit Underground needed a good ending. For much the same reason, I don't necessarily think it needs tight pacing or a structure that I would put in my own game of that sort. It's a very open game. It's a game where you collect random trinkets.
Yeah, I like how...
And kind of just solve random puzzles, and you explore a lot, and it's fun just doing that.
Yeah, it's unique in that, like, sequence breaking doesn't really exist in that game because there is no real sequence. And
Right.
I feel like you have to make a really tight platformer for that to be compelling, but it is a really tight platformer.
Exactly, and I think to me, it's kind of like a culmination of basically all of his platforming experience up to that point. Sans Knit Stories is the original Knit Stories is power-up system, which actually made that more of like a Metroidvania, make your own Metroidvania thing. Because it's
really like that movement in that game. It's really, really good.
in KS, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Niflis has a phenomenal grasp on making good feeling games, and it has carried him far, at least for me. Of course, on the other hand, not many people have actually played his games, so I suppose it hasn't really carried him that far, but...
Am I getting confused, or is that the same guy that made 1001 Spects?
No, that is the publisher. The publisher of that game is Nicholas, and actually, as it just so happens, Nicholas's real name is Nicholas Niagara. So it's pretty easy to get those mixed up. Nicholas is a publisher of various indie games, but I don't think they've actually published any of Nicholas's games.
Well, what, Niflis? Or Nicholas? But...
Niflis, the developer, Nicholas, the publisher.
I was going to remark about Niflis on something you said earlier, but that he doesn't seem to have gotten much mainstream success, which I suppose is true, but as an indie developer, I'd call him rather successful since we're still talking about his games. I mean, I hope someday... It would be lovely if, like, a group of people somewhere were talking about my games, which I'm pretty sure would not happen outside of SA Game Dev.
That's true, and there's something to be said about that for sure. But I think what I would like to see, what kind of acknowledgement of his games that I would like to see is, I would like to see the same acknowledgement that developers of games like, well, okay, so these are more recent examples. Shovel Knight or Hyper Light Drifter.
That's
these
true.
Games had a lot of hype behind them. They're almost like big names. Their names carry a lot of weight. And I think Niflis's games are wonderful, and they are just as good, if not better, in some ways. With in general, his only real low point of his games, and even then, this depends, is character design, his character art. But they're beautiful games, they're beautiful sounding games, they're beautifully designed games. Also, yes, you finally made it.
Whoa, I made it!
Well, look at that kid.
Hmm.